The millionaire widower's twins couldn't sleep. Until the new black nanny did something unthinkable. Henry Wallace was a man who had everything money could buy: mansions, cars, a global empire built from scratch. But none of that mattered when his wife, Eleanor, died suddenly. In an instant, the billionaire became a widower, left alone with his 6-year-old twins, Sophie and Samuel. The children were broken in ways he couldn't mend. Night after night, they cried themselves to sleep, if they managed to sleep at all. Sometimes Henry would sit outside their door, listening to their sobs echo through the dark hallways of his sprawling mansion. He had every resource, every doctor, every so-called specialist, but nothing worked. No one could calm them. Until Maria arrived. She wasn't like the other nannies Henry had interviewed. She was quiet, soft-spoken, and black, something that didn't go unnoticed by Henry's elite, judgmental circle. While the other candidates flaunted degrees, expensive suits, and long lists of references, Maria walked in wearing a simple dress and carrying nothing but a worn leather notebook. Henry's advisor scoffed at her. "Sir, this one doesn't exactly fit the profile." But Henry was desperate. He saw something in her eyes, something steady, something kind. Against every objection, he hired her. The twins didn't warm up easily. They avoided her, hid under tables, or cried when she entered their rooms. But Maria never pushed. She sat quietly on the floor with her notebook, sketching little doodles of animals and leaving them where the children would find them. She hummed lullabies under her breath, the same ones her grandmother used to sing in the South. One night, after weeks of silence, Sophie whispered through the darkness, "Miss Maria, can you sing again?" Maria sat on the edge of their bed and began to hum. A soft, soulful melody filled the room, wrapping around the children like a blanket. Sophie's eyes fluttered shut. Samuel's tiny fists unclenched. For the first time since Eleanor's death, both children slept peacefully. Henry couldn't believe it. He stood in the doorway, frozen. The billionaire who could buy anything on earth, couldn't buy this. It was unthinkable. But the peace didn't last long. The next morning, whispers spread through the mansion staff. "The twins are finally sleeping," one maid said. "But with her." Another scoffed, "The help is overstepping." Word reached Henry's mother, Margaret Wallace, a woman of ice and status who despised anything that might tarnish the family's reputation. When she learned her grandchildren were clinging to the black nanny instead of her, she was furious. At the next family gathering, Margaret confronted Maria in front of everyone. "Know your place," she hissed. "You are here to clean, to watch. Not to replace my daughter-in-law." The room went silent. Maria lowered her gaze but didn't flinch. "I'm not trying to replace anyone, ma'am. I'm just here because they need me." The twins, hiding behind her skirt, spoke up. Sophie cried out, "We want Maria." Samuel clung tighter. The guests gasped. Margaret's face turned red. "This is outrageous, Henry. Fire her immediately." Henry's jaw tightened. For the first time, he saw the fire in Maria's eyes, not anger, but strength. She wasn't begging for her job. She was standing for his children. And that night, as he watched Sophie and Samuel sleeping peacefully with Maria sitting nearby, Henry made a choice. He wouldn't fire her. He wouldn't let prejudice dictate his home, but the storm had only just begun. Margaret launched a quiet campaign to destroy Maria. She whispered to the press, leaked stories to society circles, and stirred doubt in Henry's mind. Rumors spread, "The billionaire's children are being raised by a maid, he's disgracing the family name." Investors grew nervous. Business partners questioned his judgment. Henry confronted Maria one evening. "Do you understand what this is doing to me? To my reputation?" His voice was sharp, but his eyes were tired. Maria's answer was simple. "Do you care more about your reputation, or your children?" Her words cut through him. And then came the breaking point. One evening, the twins went missing in the gardens during a charity gala at the mansion. Panic erupted. Guests searched frantically. Margaret sneered, "This is what happens when you trust the help." But it was Maria who found them, huddled near the fountain, terrified of the flashing lights and loud strangers. She scooped them up, whispering lullabies as tears ran down their cheeks. Henry saw it all. His heart cracked wide open. In that moment, he realized, Maria wasn't just the nanny. She was the one person who truly understood his children's broken hearts. In front of everyone, the donors, the partners, even his mother, Henry declared, Maria stays. Not as staff. Not as help. But as family. Gasps filled the room. Margaret nearly fainted. The heiresses sneered. But the twins smiled, their little arms wrapped around Maria's neck. And for the first time in years, Henry Wallace didn't feel like a widower. He felt like a father again. The unthinkable had happened. Not because Maria had sung a lullaby. But because she had done what no one else dared, she gave his children back their peace, and she gave him back his family.